Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Joy. How are you today?
I'm good.
Very festive.
I just have one prediction to make. I will guarantee that Jalen Ramsey will not play in this Super Bowl. How about that?
Yeah.
You know, I just want to get that out of the way.
You going out on a limb?
Yeah, I'm going way out on a limb. How are you, Shannon?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Well,
Very good game.
we tried to warn him not to do that,
Yeah,
but
we tried to warn him.
no, it didn't work out so well for them.
No.
We'll discuss that in a second. Snoop Dogg will be here live in studio coming up later in the show. But first, we've got to talk about a thrilling AFC Championship game. The Patriots were down by 10 in the fourth quarter without a concussed Rob Gronkowski, but they still had Tom Brady. He played with a bandage on his injured right hand and still threw 2 touchdown passes to Danny Amendola in the final 9 minutes to give the Patriots the lead. Stephon Gilmore then made a great defensive play on 4th down to seal the game. Patriots are going to their 8th Super Bowl in the Brady-Belichick era, and after the game, there was a lot of talk about Brady's injured hand. Let's take a listen.
You know, I'd rather not do anything with my hand, but it just, I couldn't do, you know, that's kind of what I had to deal with. So I just wrapped it up and tried to cover it up and see if, you know, go out there and play and be effective.
Did this impact you at all?
I'd rather not wear it, but I think it sounds kind of arrogant to say, oh, yeah, it bothered me when we had a pretty good game, so I wouldn't say that.
Tom, can you take us through the 3rd and 18 throw to Danny
Doesn't that
Amendola?
sound arrogant if I said that? It's like when Tiger Woods said like that was my seed game and he won the tournament.
Can you just speak to the resourcefulness of Tom dealing with something like that midweek and then coming out and playing a huge game like that?
I mean, look, Tom did a great job, and he's a tough guy. We all know that, all right? But, man, I'm talking about open heart surgery here.
Shannon, what happened yesterday?
First, you give credit to both the teams for making it thus far, but you extend another level of gratitude for the Patriots for finding a way to win this ball game. I thought Jacksonville offensively played as well as they could play. Blake Bortles made some throws. I was concerned about him being able to make 4 or 5 throws, not only to get first downs, get touchdowns, maybe flip the field position battle. He did exactly what they asked him to do. But I thought at the end of the first half, they had 55. The Patriots had just gone down, got a touchdown. There's 55 seconds left on the clock, and the Jags had 2 timeouts. And they took a knee. Not a handoff to see if Fournette could break a play, not a screen, something safe. The Patriots only had 1 timeout. So that would have been interesting to see. Maybe you could, you know, spring something. On the flip side, you go look at last night, you see the Eagles. The Eagles get the ball back with 29 seconds on the clock on their own 20. They're up, what, 17? 17? And what do? Put the pedal to the metal, they go get a field goal. That's the difference. One team was playing to win. The other team was hoping to win. Skip, I was disappointed in how poorly the Jags defense, mainly the secondary, played, especially late 3rd quarter and for the entirety of the 4th quarter. Brandon Cooks is a speed receiver. And with a speed receiver, you must challenge him at the line of scrimmage, because if you let him get ahead of steam, what's going to happen when you play off or you press bail, he's going to eat up that cushion so quick that you're going to start to bail up out of there because you think he's running the 9 route. Then he stops, the ball's on its way, there's nothing you can do about it. So I was surprised with how A.J. Boye played him yesterday, given the fact that Boye is a Pro Bowl corner. Jalen Ramsey, I didn't think he had a very good game because they flipped him on the other side when Cook started cooking Boye, and then he gets a 40-plus yard pass interference. So I was very, very disappointed with how the defense played late in that ball game. Skip, and I don't know if you remember this, I think it was right before the Patriots got the ball. The Jags take a timeout. Out of the timeout on 3rd and 7, they get a delay of game. Now, they pick up the first down, but it was a delay of game. They move them back, then they get a sack. Basically, that's a 10-point swing at worst-case scenario, because you look like they're going to be in field goal range. They're going to get 3 points, if nothing else, maybe even a touchdown. Now you get an opportunity to stretch that lead. Maybe it's 17-10. Who knows? It's 21-10. Because this is what you know. I said the magic number to get to in New England when you're playing the Patriots at home in the playoff is 24. That's the cutoff. You got to get to 24, because you know no matter how well you play defensively, Tom Brady is not done until the clock says 0. I don't think we give the Patriots defense nearly enough credit. And see, this is where Skip and I part ways. because in the fourth quarter, 0 points, 0 for 5 on third downs, 2 first downs. That's how Tom Brady got back in this ball game. Without that, there is no miraculous comeback. There is no Tom Brady being hero because of what the Patriots defense was allowed to do. But if the Patriots go on and win this Super Bowl, the highlight will be 3rd and 18, down by 10 in the fourth quarter. Skip, that's his bigger throw. That's his biggest clutch throw that you'll see Tom Brady make. What I don't understand is that you've been playing so much man coverage, and now all of a sudden you're going to play zone and allow windows to open up for Tom Brady and Danny Amendola. That's some of the things I don't understand. I think maybe Gronk going out of the game changed the way some of their aggressiveness. They felt comfortable, but I'm surprised that they did not challenge these receivers a lot more than what I saw yesterday. You must put hands on Amendola. You must put hands on Cook. They didn't do that. Give Tom Brady credit. They found it. Josh McDaniel got in the rhythm, started calling a great game plan. And Matt Patricia, you might not think he's doing anything. It might be Coach Belichick. But if you look at that fourth quarter, that was as dominating a performance that you've seen in any playoff this year. And this is why since week 5, they've had the #1 scoring defense in all of football. So kudos to the New England Patriots. But I felt Jacksonville got very, very conservative in their approach, hoping to win. The clock would run out as opposed to keeping the pedal to the metal and going on and winning this ball game.
So I loved how you did that. I loved how you attempted to undercut and discount what Tom Brady did in the fourth quarter yesterday, and it's fine. I'm going to get that all week for 2 weeks of trying to discount Tom Brady. I give you all the points you made about Jacksonville, maybe in certain cases playing not to win, playing
not to lose.
Not to lose, yeah. And I give you that finally, after Blake Bortles turned into Eli Bortles versus Tom Brady for much of that game, that finally the Patriot defense did what it should have done from the start. It locked down and locked in and started to get a little more heat thanks to James Harrison on Blake Bortles. And he started to play a little more like the guy that we saw much of the year, a guy who's pretty good, but he's not real good.
Right.
A guy who threw 21 touchdowns to 13 interceptions during the regular season and had a QBR of 56, which on 0 to 100 scale is just a little above average. Finally, that guy was exposed in the fourth quarter by a Patriot defense that should have done it much earlier because he was completing third down throw after third down throw. And again, he had 6 third down conversions.
6 to 10 in the first 3 quarters.
That's pretty good. Tom Brady had 3 third down conversions for the entire football game. But in the end, when it was time, Tom Brady did it again.
So how did we be able to do that in the fourth quarter?
Tom Brady did it again. When it looked like, with 8 minutes and 45 seconds left, that they were hopelessly behind by 10 points, he did it again. And I want to put this in perspective for everyone. There's obviously no Julian Edelman, no Martellus Bennett from last year. And in the end, the go-to receiver, I want people to understand this, was Danny Amendola. He is 5 feet 11 inches tall, and he weighs 190 pounds. And once upon a time, he was undrafted out of Texas Tech because he ran a 4.740 at the combine. This is your go-to receiver in the fourth quarter. This is the guy who caught the 3rd and 18 pass over the middle, and it was a thing of beauty. Look at Brady's footwork. If we can see that one more time in the pocket, we're seeing one to the outside. But again, for Tom Brady to be able to beat the cover 2 with him turning underneath both the safeties and drop it just over the linebackers to little Danny Amendola in the middle of the field by sliding to his left to beat the rush, it's just a masterpiece. It's a thing of beauty. It's clutchness beyond comprehension. Throwing to Danny Amendola, I want everybody to understand, there's no Julio Jones out there. There's obviously no Antonio Brown. There's not even an Alshon Jeffrey on the field.
But, Skip, that's the point that you keep missing. You assume and you want people to believe, but because they're not these guys, they can't play. They fit what the Patriots do.
It's because Tom Brady makes them fit what he does. He'll do it with anybody. He could take Shannon Sharpe at almost age 50 and say, I'll figure it out. I'll win with Shannon Sharpe. And remember, he lost Gronk late in the second quarter again. He didn't have Gronk for the last 8 games last year, and he did it again in the second half with no Gronkowski. It's just incomprehensible to me. And Shannon Sharpe, you have to understand, you realize they had 46 yards rushing and won the football game, and more important, remember, they only had 28 yards rushing when Deion Lewis got loose on the 3rd and 9 late in the game. Remember this? That was the clock-killing play when he went wide?
Yes.
At that point, they had 28 yards rushing, and they still beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. How is that? It's because Tom Brady keeps coming up all-time clutch, game after game after game. And remember, the Patriots had the ball for only 25 minutes. Blake Bortles had it for 35 minutes. 35 to 25? And you said all last week, there's no way Tom Brady's going to throw for 300 against this defense. Well, guess what? In just 25 minutes, he threw for 290. How did he do that?
So if you don't mind me asking, can you tell me the part that Tom Brady played that gave up 0 points and 2 first downs and 0 for 5 on 3rd down? Can you tell me the part
finally
that he
locked in? But
so you keep saying finally.
As you said all last week, Jacksonville's not good enough on offense, but it took 3 quarters for them to finally draw a bead on Blake Bortles.
They played 4
he needed the ball back, but again, he's going up against as athletic and talented a defense as there is in the National Football League. And he is shredding it under pressure in the 4th quarter where you cannot make a mistake. How many picks did he throw yesterday? You kept saying, he was down the stretch. He was horrible. He threw all these picks. He threw 0 yesterday.
Did Blake Bortles throw a pick? But
no.
the difference,
the Patriot defense takes it away from nobody. It's what they don't do.
But
did they create turnovers? Who won the turnover battle yesterday?
1-0.
1-0. Wait, New England lost the turnover battle and beat Jacksonville?
But Skip, here's the thing that you don't understand. It's not how much long you possess the ball. At the end of those possessions, are you getting punts? Are you getting field goals? Are you getting touchdowns? Or are you punting the ball? Because what we saw is that they were possessing the ball for 3, 4, 5 minutes, but they were punting it away. No harm, no foul. If you're going to possess the ball, just possessing the football doesn't win you the game. Points win you games. And they had opportunities to put the game away. As I mentioned, right before the half, 55 seconds, 3 timeouts on your 25. At least show your quarterback. Hand the ball to Fournette. Maybe he springs one. You never know. You run a screen. They only have 1 timeout. So if you don't get anything, you just take a knee and you go from there. You look at Doug Peterson, the game he called on his own 29 seconds with 2 timeouts. Nick Foles go get a field goal. Again, you playing to win as opposed to hoping to win. I felt later in that ball game, Skip, they started hoping because if you remember the first half, I say they should throw early to run late. The Patriots will say, we know you want to run the ball on 1st down, so we're not going to allow you to do it. And then they got the lead. Chung was basically playing a linebacker. He moved from center field. He moved from the 2 deep safety. He was playing right next to Van Noy. And they still was trying to run the ball. You must throw when you know they're in single coverage, Skip. And they played right into the hands of the Patriots. Give the Patriots credit because you have to stay close enough. Look. In playoff games, the momentum doesn't swing like a regular season game. It goes back and forth, back and forth. In a playoff game, you'll have it. The question is, when you have the momentum, can you put enough separation between you and your opponent? And when Jacksonville had the momentum, they didn't do that. New England got the momentum. They got 2 touchdowns. They win the game. Kudos. But, Skip, I don't know what game you were watching yesterday.
I was watching Tom Brady be as clutch, the clutchest athletic performer in any sport we have ever seen, and he did it again on the biggest stage yesterday. I've never seen anything like it. All year long, you make a case. I'll take Aaron Rodgers because in a vacuum, he's the greatest thrower of the football. Baloney! Baloney! Aaron Rodgers won 1 Super Bowl 7 years ago. He's 5-6 in the postseason since then. This guy on the biggest stages keeps coming up as clutch as anybody ever. Like I told you last year, I'm the biggest Michael Jordan fan you will find on the planet. But this guy is even more clutch than Michael Jordan.
He can't be because Michael Jordan has never lost in the finals. So you can't say he's more clutch when he's lost 2 games in the finals.
The problem is, for Michael, he was too good for his own good because they never played a single Game 7 in any of those finals. And these are all Game 7 kind of games.
So that goes to his greatness that he wouldn't allow it to get to that point. Now, see, that's the point that you make when you're trying to bash LeBron. How great Michael Jordan was, he never went to a Game 7. Now to try to flip it to show Tom Brady has surpassed him, you said if he should have went to Game 7, to show his clutchness. You can't have it both ways.
Okay, and speaking of LeBron James, I know he's in his 15th year and he's Iron Man. Baloney. This guy at age 40 is like he's 22. He's in his at the end of his 18th year and he played that level.
He
yesterday.
plays one side of the ball.
Woo. But it's still football, man, and he still gets rocked. Did Miles Jack not jack him up?
Yeah, he got hit a couple of times, Skip. But you can't say a guy that's playing both offense and defense in year 15 is the equivalent of a guy playing offense at 18 year at the quarterback position. Come on, Skip. Now let's be real about this. I'm not trying to take anything away from Tom Brady.
You see any decline?
I'm not trying to poo-poo what he's done, but you're trying to make it seem like oh my God! And say again. I know you're trying to hold. You don't want to talk about it, and he did this with 12 stitches in his hand.
Wait, time out. I'm glad you just said that. Did I bring up, it was 10 stitches. Did I bring up anything about his hand? I've spoken 300 words, whatever I've spoken, not about half as many as you have so far. But the point is, did I bring up his hand one time, Joy Taylor?
No, you did not.
I did not mention it because I don't need to mention it. It doesn't matter. You brought it up.
You were going to mention it.
You brought it up.
That's why you kept hyping it last week.
Way to go, Shannon.
You kept hyping it last week.
I didn't hype it at all. I just told you. Wait. Hold on just a second. You were the guy who on Thursday's show said the Patriots are fabricating this injury. Wait, did he go cut himself in the locker room so he could put 10 stitches in? Maybe they painted the 10 stitches on.
That's not what I said.
Did they paint them on?
I said they're
Lord have mercy.
Embellishing.
First you used the word fabricated. The second day you said, maybe I went a little too
far.
No,
I didn't say maybe I went too far. I said maybe I didn't do a good enough job explaining it. I'm saying he's injured, but I'm saying they're embellishing the extent. The cut was not in the palm. Now, if he's a defensive or offensive lineman and he got the lockout, okay. If he's a receiver and he has to catch the ball, okay. Skip, the cut was on the backside of his hand, so stop.
I'm not. Wait a minute. Stop what? I never started. Did I say anything about his hand?
You kept bringing it up, Skip.
I just said he was hurt. You said he's not hurt.
I love what Coach Belichick said, and we're going to talk about that comment. Here's the thing. I remember last year at the Australian Open, there was one Serena Williams that was 3-4 months pregnant. She never said a thing because she didn't want to use an excuse. She had a legitimate excuse.
Did Tom Brady use it as an excuse? Did he? No. He said it'd be arrogant if I used it as an excuse. He just poo-pooed. He shot it completely down. He didn't want to talk about it.
The fact of the matter that we knew about it, I'm saying Serena did not reveal until afterwards because she didn't want to give it an excuse. And she did. She could have a legitimate excuse. She got a human growing inside her.
Well, there's rules for having to.
They could have said Tom Brady.
I don't need an excuse. I don't need an excuse. I didn't use an excuse.
Yes, you did.
I'm not trying to. Yes, I did win.
You did. You tried to use it last week.
I did not. I just said he's hurt. You said he's not hurt. And 10 stitches later, I think I was dead right about that.
Skip, the 10 stitches was on the back of his hand.
It's not on the back of his hand.
Where was it?
It's here at the base of his thumb on the inside.
It was right on top of it.
No, it's not. It's inside.
No, it was not. It was the back of his hand.
No, it is.
Skip, stop it.
And by the way, his thumb, if you could see it before the game, it was twice the size of what it usually is. And I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because, look, it amazes me that Tom Brady will never get the credit for what he does because there's Brady hate, there's jealousness, there's resentment. And look at what he's done. Just quickly, look back at what he did. Late in the first Super Bowl against the St. Louis Rams, he completes 5 passes to set up the Super Bowl. They're all clutch passes. Then against Carolina, his next Super Bowl, he completes 7 passes to set up a late field goal. And again, he didn't kick the field goal, but you got to keep converting. He had converted 1/3, 3 on that drive. And then he's down 10.
Isn't that what Aaron Rodgers did last year in the division? But you said it was the hand of God.
Okay,
they took those field goals in. You got to keep converting.
That was against in the divisional playoff game? Okay, so do you want to compare Aaron Rodgers? What's he done to Tom Brady? Wait a second, let me finish. So against the Legion of Boom, he's down 10 in the fourth quarter. It's just like yesterday. There's no hope. And what does he do? He goes 13 of 15 in the fourth quarter for 124 yards and pulls it off with 2 touchdown passes. And then he's down 16 to Atlanta last year with 5:46 left. Think he had a shot? I'm sitting back thinking, boy, this is going to be dicey. And in the fourth quarter and overtime, he throws for 246 and 2 more touchdowns. It's all-time clutchness, game after game after game, but you have to undercut it. You have to say, oh, come on.
No,
it's just like jealousy. I don't know what it is.
I'm not trying to undercut it. I'm saying Tom Brady is historically, he's transcendent great, but it's not good of that. That's not a good enough story. See, him being 40 is not a good enough story.
You know what? That's true. It's not good enough. There's always got to be something wrong. Will the defense finally do it? Yeah, and Stephon Gilmore finally made a play. But if you don't have number 12, are you going to win this game? No, you're not going to win this game.
But if the defense doesn't blow their backs and let them score more points, are you going to win this game no matter how great Tom Brady is? I'm saying the storyline just can't be Tom Brady played great. Tom Brady is playing as great in year 18 at age 40 as he had at any point in time. That's not good enough for you. You want to add more yeast to the story so it can rise. Now he's playing with
I don't need any yeast.
With a 10-inch gash in the
it
inside
rose
of his
and you won't acknowledge it. You won't embrace it. You won't credit it. He still gets less credit than any quarterback of this magnitude ever.
He deserves the credit. He played well. That 3rd and 18 throw, the throws that he made to Amendola, there were some big-time throws that he made. My point is, they could have said he has an injured hand. The NFL injury report does not require you be specific and say which hand. They did that just like you would.
But everybody reported it was his throwing hand. We knew that.
How do we know that, Skip?
Because the Boston Globe reported.
How did they know that, Skip?
They got sources inside the team.
Okay.
Were they right?
Thank you. That's my point.
You don't think it's a big story when the quarterback of the Super Bowl favorite injures his throwing hand on Wednesday? It's a huge story.
It's a big deal if he injures his non-throwing hand. It's a big deal if he injures any part of his body. That's my point. The injury report of the NFL does not require you to be specific.
Okay, but I wouldn't have even brought it up if you hadn't brought it up. Because I think you want it to be part of the story.
Skip, it's a
no. Nobody's doing it except you.
Skip,
you're seeing ghosts.
Skip,
you are.
Had no one mentioned anything leading up to it, we would not have known until we saw the black thing on his hand, and then they would have asked him after the game. Then it could have been a part of the story. But it was a part of the story leading up until we got to the beginning.
Okay, but he said yesterday, unless you think he's a liar, maybe you do, he said on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, he wasn't sure if he could play in the game on Sunday.
Oh, my goodness. Stop it.
You don't think so?
All I know is what... Listening to Coach Belichick's comment,
yeah.
he is tired of talking about it kind of like...
You know what? That's because there's as much Brady hate going on inside Bill Belichick as inside Shannson.
No, it don't help.
Yeah.
Coach Belichick said, "Why I need to hate?" You know, I'm the architect of this.
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
I'm the architect of this.
Now we're getting to the bottom of it. Yeah.
You live here,
Don't
Tom.
give that quarterback any credit.
You live here, Tom.
I deserve all the credit.
This.
Oh, did he?
I built this.
You mean the guy who was about to be fired when Tom Brady fell out of heaven into his lap?
I don't know about
Drew Bledsoe got
all I'm saying is I built this. I drafted you.
Yeah.
Everybody that's in New England, other than the Kraft family, I brought them here.
Yeah. He
Josh McDaniels, I brought you. Matt Patricia, Charlie Weiss, Romeo Cornell, Bill O'Brien. No matter who you are, if you from 2000 Skip Bayless until now, Bill Belichick.
In the year 2000, Bill Belichick went 5-11 for the Patriots, and he was 0-2 when Mo Lewis, thankfully for all those Patriots, hit Drew Bledsoe and knocked him out.
All I'm saying is this: Coach Belichick needs more credit than what you want to give him. But there'll be time leading up to this. We got 2 weeks.
Drew made a nice appearance yesterday.
Who, Drew Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him up in there. We'll discuss Bill Belichick's comments a little later. But next, can the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl? We'll discuss that next.
What about Ty Bar Ghost?